We have seen facilities now being created for the greatest and most complex exploration in man's history. We have felt the ground shake and the air shattered, generating power equivalents to 10,000 automobiles with their accelerator on the floor, 10,000 booster rockets, and the air shattered, the ground shattered, go to the moon!
You see that? That's the moon. We need to build a rocket to go to the moon.
But Swagmail, how are you going to build a rocket to go to the moon?
It's pretty simple, actually. First, we need to build a passive supply of wood, sand, kelp, and andesite to automate the creation of kinetic mechanisms. And then we go to the moon. Normally, this process would take a few days, but with the help of my friends, we'll get it done in about
10 minutes. Okay, we're beating the game. Yeah, look, we're bug buddies. Why are you putting cooked salmon in a
Cause I'm
furnace?
hungry, bro.
No, it's already cooked. Why would you want to cook it again? That does not work.
Sorry, bro. I'm white.
Yo, Swag, pass me some shaders.
Yeah, I got you.
I got the shaders running.
Yo, what the fuck? He went quiet.
This was gonna take far longer than 10 minutes. And to make matters worse, everybody left, and I was cursed to complete this arduous task alone.
You said, I'ma be on the game at 9 o'clock. Where was you at? Where was you at? I had to run solo.
If I was gonna get this done in any reasonable amount of time, I was gonna need a few things. Seagrass and clay mixed together to make an algae blend, smelted down into algae bricks, then crafted together with andesite to make andesite alloy. This is used to craft pretty much everything we were gonna need to make a functioning factory. Cogs, shafts, and most importantly, kinetic mechanisms. 8 kinetic mechanisms in an andesite casing, and we'd be able to craft ourselves some basic machines. My wrench! Making these by hand is cool and all, but we were gonna need let me actually check real quick. 1 billion. We were gonna need 1 billion million kinetic mechanisms, give or take. Automating their creation will be the only way. To start, I'll build a cobblestone generator to generate andesite. By generating the block on top of a piece of bedrock, it has a chance to become one of 4 blocks, one of them being andesite. Using a mechanical drill, I'll mine the blocks being generated, and to actually move them, I'll use an encased fan to blow them onto a belt. This all works pretty well, except there's a slight problem. I needed to get these items to the surface where the rest of the factory is going to be. With this, we can attach a linear chassis, a portable storage interface, and a chest to bring the items all the way to the top. Using a gear shift, we can control the direction with redstone, but that sounds like a problem for future me. I'm just going to use a lever for now. That was something. At this point, I have a steady production of andesite and kelp, but I'm missing the clay that'll be mixed with the kelp, subsequently smelted down into bricks, and mixed with the andesite to make andesite alloy. Using strainers, we can generate various different types of sand that can be washed in the clay by this encased fan blowing water. 2 belts are used to bring the clay and the kelp together into a basin, which will output on another belt that'll use fans to blast the algae mix with lava, cooking them into bricks. I would just go ahead and hook up the andesite farm to finish making the andesite alloy, but alas, I just used all the iron me and the boys mined on day 1. I'm gonna be honest, I don't particularly fancy mining. It takes time away from building these machines, and frankly, I just want to go to the moon. So the less time spent mining, the better. Now you keen-eyed viewers may have noticed this funny little machine in the background. Before everyone left, me and Yahia mice built it. It's a pretty basic cobblestone generator. With some minor modifications, I reckon I can get it to produce a small amount of iron nuggets. It's not super efficient, but it'll get us to where we need to be for the time being. And with the FTB chunks mod, I'm able to claim and load the chunks, so it'll always be running even if I'm not near it. The first part of the factory was done, but something was missing. That's a start. I made a diamond pick and went back to the fallen meteorite I passed earlier and dismantled it. Basically, we can take the skystone from the meteor and grind it down into skystone dust. Normally when you mill items, they're consumed, but in this case, the skystone block isn't destroyed and you can keep reusing the same one over and over again, hypothetically giving me an easily renewable supply of skystone dust. The idea here is that the skystone will be ground down into dust. Both the skystone dust and the skystone will be output onto this belt. The dust will be put into the basin with some water being pumped in from the side, and the block will be cycled back into the millstone and start the process over again. The skystone solution is output into this adjacent basin for the next step of the production, which requires charged surface quartz. Something I don't have time to find some. I didn't find any, but I did find this flux crystal, which can be used to craft a charger to charge the surface quartz. I literally found it in a random pot, and it's exactly what I needed, so... By putting the charged crystal into the basin with the skystone solution, it had produced destabilized redstone and a discharged surface quartz crystal, which I can funnel back into the charger and back into the basin again to be reused. Good. Now I need some pure surface quartz to mix with the destabilized redstone and make painted quartz, so I built a machine to do that. And it didn't work. Basically, the idea was to water these two surface quartz seeds, but I needed a way to split the two. I wasn't able to do that right now, so I decided to put some cobblestone down on this platform because it, and I built the rest of this part of the factory. First things first, the new iron farm. It's just like the old one, but produces way more. A belt moves the iron nuggets into the seared smelter. It melts it down into molten iron that's pumped into the spout. The painted quartz would move down this belt, and the molten iron would be poured onto it to make electron tubes, but I still haven't fixed it. For the time being, I can manually put some surface quartz seeds on the belts to complete chapter 2 and then turn to a new age of machines. Surely all this works and there's no problems with it whatsoever. I've been having some problems with foreign contaminants coming in and gunking out my production line. It was finally time to build some walls and keep the pests out. Check it out, walls, a ceiling, windows, I'll put those in later. And most importantly, no hummingbirds. I think I might just go for a relaxing stroll in the nether, some warp stems and crimson vines. Maybe a few blaze burners, I don't know. You. I'll let you live this time, Sam Ballot. But don't forget whose roof you're under.
Man, shut your bitch up, smelly.
This belt isn't moving.
Welcome back, stupid. Here, have an egg. Ouch! Hey, chill, I was joking. Are you crazy? You may have bested me this time, Swag Meal, but next time you won't. Wait! What are you doing? Stop! My babies! You've smashed them!
Now you may be asking yourself, Swagmeal, why did you just spend an excruciating 2 real life
For smashing
hours?
my eggs, I will be a curse to you for generations. Mark my words, Swag Meal.
Turn it into an infernal mechanism, completing chapter 2A. I didn't really think this through, so I'm just going to build the next part of the factory outside. I'm taking sticks from the tree farm and cobblestone from this igneous extruder. This is what the infernal mechanisms were for. And belting them into this big mechanical crafter that crafts crushing wheels that go down this belt to be crushed by these other crushing wheels. By crushing the crushing wheels, using crushing wheels, a strange anomaly is created. Singularities. I need to consistently blow up these singularities with TNT for the next step in the process, so automating the production of TNT is necessary. According to the quest book, there are 3 different types of ferns I need to collect, which are found scattered throughout the world, and with the green one I'll be able to automate gunpowder easily. I found the purple and blue fern pretty quickly, literally just a few hundred blocks away from the base. All I need now is the green one, so I guess I'll just walk around until I find it.
Get a load of this moron. He's been arduously searching for a green fern for 2 hours, walking thousands of blocks. But here's the funny bit. There's a green fern only 100 blocks away from his base.
Maybe I'll just take a peek inside this dungeon. Couldn't hurt. Wait, I think I see it on the map. The ferns get cut in two, yeeted over into this evil purple fire that transmutes it back into a whole fern, then gets yeeted back to be split. Half the ferns go to be processed, and the other back into the fire to keep the supply going. The ferns which are processed are cut, crushed, and cooked on the stove to be turned into ender dust, bone meal, and gunpowder respectively. Cobblestone is processed into sand and put into this mechanical crafter with gunpowder to make TNT, which is then placed into this deployer. Singularities are dropped, the TNT is placed, and an ender dust activates the TNT via this wooden pressure plate. The blast from the TNT turns all the dropped components into quantum entangled singularities. I belt those into this basin with some red dye, which is what the bone meal is for. They are processed into chromatic singularities, which are immediately crushed into different colors of paintball and drained of their color until they become magenta. The excess chromatic waste is pumped out and voided in this nullifier. The magenta paintballs are crafted into chromatic compounds which need an adjacent light source to be turned into refined radiance. I'll be using torches made from sticks from the tree farm. The refined radiance floats upwards and is pressed into a sheet, which is crafted into radiant inductive coil to be used as a part of the sequential crafting sequence to create inductive mechanisms from precision mechanisms. I moved the tree farm back because ferns kept getting caught on some of the larger trees, made some platforms, finally installed the windows. I found this weird glitchy terrain while gathering resources. It's probably nothing. Built this shack, it caught on fire, so I added some bricks. That fire was pretty bad, but there's a greater issue. A fire that burns much larger yet is not seen with the eye. A looming cataclysm far beyond my comprehension. You see, I'm broke. I got a few silver coins, but that's not gonna cut it. I need more. I don't do mining, okay? It's much cheaper just to buy ingots if you ask me, so I've got an idea. This is my sweetberry farm. Its sole purpose is to harvest sweet berries, turn the berries into money, and money into valuable resources, which all end up here as to be easily accessible. I'm gonna add more layers, but there's something I need to take care of first. Remember this?
Wait, whose house is that? Whose house is that?
This is Sandballat's house. I'm beginning to suspect that this is where the hummingbirds are hiding out, so as the rightful owner of this land, I'm taking it upon myself to evict them.
What?
「私は空気の力を司る王子です。そしてあなたは私の仲間たちを殺しました。スワーグミール、お前は私を止めることはできない。私はどこにでも存在し、お前はたった一人で私の世界にいる。私は遠い昔からここを治め、ここの民に崇められておる。お前も私に従えば全てが見えてこよう。
Hi, Swag Meal.
What a weirdo. Do you know how long it took me to build that house with my little bird hands? A long time. I'm just a little guy, for real. All I can do now is follow him around and make fun of him. That's right, I'm watching you, Meal, from beyond the grave.
Alright, I'm a little bit confused, right? As far as I'm concerned, I've scoured every inch of the stronghold and I can't seem to find the portal room. It would seem running around aimlessly wasn't gonna work. I needed a more systematic approach. If I just hugged the left wall the entire way through, I should be able to walk through the entire stronghold and find the portal room. Dude, it's been like 3 hours. Just let me go to the end, dude. How convenient. All I need to do now is put the... Guess I just gotta wait for it to fly down.
Yes, child. Smite me down and acquire what you've come here for.
How do you know about that?
I am everywhere.
What is he talking about? He said the same thing that hummingbird said.
私はどこにでも存在し、
He was just saying all that to confuse me, right? Now for what I've come all this way for. I didn't bring shears.
Hey, sure.
If I melt down silver coins into ingots, put that in an induction smelter with ender dust and poise bush, I can make enderium ingots. If I put the enderium back with the inductive mechanisms, I'll get abstruse mechanisms which I'll use to craft mainly two things, an ender chest and an ender tank to transport items and fluids wirelessly.
You sound sick, buddy. Inhaling all that purple stuff. I mean, it's literally called poise bush. You know, like poison. I wouldn't be surprised if everyone drops dead from the outbreak you're about to cause. Anyways. What chapter is he on? Chapter 4? Looks like he's building an alchemical laser. 2 alchemical lasers. Shocking. I bet he stole that design.
Minecart unloader over here in the converted. It went in.
He doesn't know I'm watching him. I'm in your walls, swag meal. I am one with the soil. I look up at the night sky, and I hear the earth cry from the slain. I am awaiting your fall, Mr. Meal. Sorry, yes, I'm the narrator. What's he doing now? Surprised you didn't see that coming with those big ol' eyes? Why are his eyes like that? Four eyes. What a stupid way to produce silicon.
There are two main things I want to use this silicon for: processors and calculation mechanisms. Calculation mechanisms are the same as all other mechanisms I've made. Creating processors, on the other hand, is a bit more complicated. I'm pumping lava from downstairs into the smaller smelter that melts down blaze rods and the fuel for this larger smelter. This is required to melt diamonds. Whenever any of the resources that is required is melted down, it automatically gets pumped out into its respective mold and put into a deployer to be applied to pressed silicon. Next, destabilized redstone, also from the smelter, is poured onto it and finally pressed, completing the sequence. Initially, I thought I was going to do this as fast as I possibly could and get to the moon in record pace, but looking at all I've built now, I realized this was something more special. Maybe there was more to this than just to abandon all I've built, and for what? What does the moon have for me? Is it worth all I've suffered? I don't know, but I'm too far in to quit now. How deep is this puddle? How far am I willing to fall to know how deep this puddle is? Only I can know, and only I can emerge from its depth. My game crashed. I hope everything's okay. It seems fine though. Anyways, remember those processors? I used them to digitize my sword with this ME system. I even have it set up to wirelessly craft. You want plates? It'll send ingots to the press and back into the system once they're processed. In order to make sure things flow smoothly, I'm gonna need a constant supply of calculation mechanisms. I set it up so half the inductive mechanisms are processed and the other half are stored in this drawer with apples from the tree farm and the calculation mechanisms. This was good. Everything seemed to be working well and I could finally start work on the final part of my factory. Until I couldn't open the world anymore. According to the crash report, there was an issue with a tile entity, the pyrolyzer. According to this forum, I could use a program called MBT Explorer and delete the pyrolyzer manually, hopefully restoring me access to my world. It would seem I deleted more than just the pyrolyzer. I think this entire chunk is corrupted or something, which is ironic because this very chunk is where me and Yahim built the first cobblestone generator a few weeks ago.
Hold on, what tile entities? That's just like a chest, right? That's just like a chest of something that's that
Yeah,
can
so
contain
like
data, right?
you see these
It's a tile
man,
entity. Yeah, these
it's all,
entities. Yeah.
all busted up, but it's you know I'm kind of
Okay.
missing like a bunch of.
All this from like 3 iron nuggets per iron ore. Wow.
Luckily for me, I have a backup from the day before with everything up to the creation of the ME system. Hypothetically, I should just be able to rebuild everything and it should be fine. It crashed again. As far as I'm concerned, I have two options. Mine out all the stuff from this chunk, reset it with MBT Explorer, and then rebuild everything. Or play without closing the world until I get to the moon. Can you tell which option I chose? That's right, I'm not stopping until this is done. I started by rebuilding everything I had lost the first 2 times, and began what truly felt like the end.
Swag meal. Swag meal. Swag meal. I don't like the looks of this. Maybe you should just stop what you're doing. Everything's falling apart, man. It's no use. It's over. You should quit. It's over. Stop what you're doing.
T-minus 21 seconds, and the solid rocket booster engine gimbal now underway. T-minus 15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, look, it's the guy who burned my house down. It's a simple choice, really. It's not like you haven't cheated before. Remember when you couldn't find the portal room in the stronghold and you went into spectator mode to find it? Don't think these things go unnoticed. You're a cheater. It's simple. The right answer is to cheat.
I know. I know you'd like to think you swayed my opinion so that you could live on through my regrets, but this world will die with you and you're not coming with me.
Did you build that rocket, or did the rocket build itself? It would seem Mr. Meal has realized that he himself became a part of the factory, just another cog in the system. All that was good about life became a resource to be consumed, when what he really wanted was already there. Though your works be burned up, enjoy the simple life, for what began in arrogance ended in humility, even without regret. How curious!